Hi guys. Okay, so we're going to go on to part 7 of the Calumet County Sheriff's Department police reports. This is the last one that I have for today. I'm going to read some more tomorrow because it's 2:30 in the morning and, been at this for a while. Alright, so this is a report from Wendy Baldwin. Hi, Wendy. On November 5th. On November 5th at approximately 10:40 a.m., I, Investigator Baldwin, began my shift and was requested by Investigator Wiegert to follow up on some information that had come in about a possible sighting of Teresa Halbach. At approximately 11:13 a.m., I did make contact with Anna Knutson, who informed me that on possibly Tuesday morning, she had seen a female fitting the description of Teresa on the highway taking photographs of cows. And we've heard about this before, but apparently none of the photographs on the flashcards or whatever were recovered. The flashcards were recovered, but none of the photographs were recovered. So we don't know if there's anything there that showed, Teresa ever took photographs of cow. But I personally did email this woman quite a while back, maybe 2 months ago, and still have not heard anything from her, just to ask her if she is the correct person who had seen Teresa and if she would be willing to talk to me about it and just give me some information. But I haven't heard from her, so I tried. Let's see, some more into Baldwin's report. Due to locating Teresa's vehicle on this property, a cursory search was done to attempt to locate Teresa Halbach. Because of exigent circumstances in this matter, I was assigned to Sergeant Brian Knack of the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department to conduct a search at the address. At approximately 15:48 hours, Sergeant Knack and I did enter that residence. So they went into Stephen's trailer to try to locate him. And I wonder if this was Baldwin and Knack, who were the two that were in the trailer and during the first search, that did the video where she's reading Stephen's mail and, making her little smart-assy comments about, I don't think he's going to make it, and laughing and talking about having to, hey, let's grab those shoes in case we have some unsolved burglaries. A short time later, the Great Lakes Search and Rescue arrived on the scene with their search dogs. I went with one of the handlers and the dog and assisted searching the pit area where all the junk cars were located. However, that night, nothing was found. Isn't she the one who supposedly found this bloody rag, when she was out with the cops or with the search dogs? It's not mentioned here. And that is the end of her report. Page 70, okay, Investigator Dietering on November 5th. He is speaking with Pam and Nicole Sturm. Nicole indicated that she had taken photos prior to calling our agency. The Sturms indicated that they had used tissues in an attempt to determine whether the vehicle was secure and found the doors to be locked. So I don't know where using the sleeves came in. I know that Pam stated that she suggested to Nicole to use the sleeves of her hoodie or her shirt or jacket or whatever to try to open the doors, but Nicole had tissues in her pocket, so she used a clean tissue every time. With every different door handle, she used a different tissue to try to open all the doors. They were all locked, which, I've talked about this in other videos about doors being locked, how that was interesting. So they are doing an interview. This is part of Nicole Sturm's statement. Pam immediately called dispatch to help identify the vehicle. I took pictures with a digital camera before the phone call. While Pam was on the phone with dispatch, I tried all the vehicle doors using a tissue to avoid contact, which were locked. And then she also mentions 3 Spanish-speaking individuals were in the vicinity, approximately 100 yards from the Toyota. And then they have a written statement from Pam Sturm, and she basically says exactly the same thing as Nicole. She took some digital pictures quickly in case we were told to leave. No license plates were on the vehicle. I called Sheriff Poggle's number to report the vehicle. And then she goes on to say that 3 men dressed in old clothing walking around while we were searching. They all talked Spanish, what she said. And then later on in this report from Dietering, he says the camera used by the Sturms to capture digital images of the RAV4 was turned over to Sheriff Poggle by me. So, and we've seen those pictures, of course, because they are really the only good pictures that were taken of the car at the salvage yard with all the things on them before they were disturbed, especially by the tarps and whatever. Alright, this is Mark Wiegert on November 5th. At approximately 13:04 hours, I met with Calumet County District Attorney Ken Kratz and Manitowoc County District Attorney Mark Rohr, as well as Manitowoc County District Attorney Griesbach. At that time, we decided we would need to apply for a search warrant for the property. At that time, huh? Okay. At approximately 14:04 hours, Detective Brimmaker and District Attorneys Rohr, Kratz, and Griesbach responded to the Honorable Judge Jerome Fox's residence in the city of Two Rivers. At that time, District Attorney Kratz was assigned as special prosecutor of the case. They went to the Fox Law Office on Washington Street, arriving there approximately 14:15 hours. At 15:10 hours, so an hour later, we did receive the search warrant, and the search warrant was signed by the Honorable Judge Fox. We left the Honorable Judge Fox's office at 15:14 hours and returned to the Avery property. We arrived at the Avery property at approximately 15:25 hours, at which time we began to execute the search warrant. I don't know. I was just thinking that they had already started searching, so I'm not really sure what the point of that was. Let's see. Mark Wiegert is interviewing Earl Avery on November 5th. Thursday, November 3rd, he and his brother, Earl, and his brother, Stephen Avery, went to an automobile insurance auction on what he believes was some address in the city of Appleton. Stephen picked him up at his house at approximately 6:30 a.m. on Thursday, November 3rd. He states they got back around 3 p.m. Earl indicated that they had stopped at a couple of places on the way home, and then he goes on to list the places they stopped, which were, not unimportant. Earl stated that on Monday, October 31st, he was doing cars, which just means he would cut the motors and transmissions out of the cars. Earl then stated that either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, he was not sure of the day, he and a friend of his by the name of Robert Fabian had taken his mother's golf cart and took a ride. He stated that they went down a lane about 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. He states the lane is where we would have found Teresa's vehicle. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. He states when they drove down the lane with the golf cart, the truck was not there. They asked if he could be any more clear on what day it occurred. Earl stated it might have been Tuesday, but he doesn't know for sure. So this would have been the day after, like on the 1st. On Tuesday, Earl states he again was working on cars. He would not have been anywhere near where the truck would have been parked. while he was working on the cars. I asked Earl when the last time he would have been anywhere near where Teresa's vehicle was located, to which Earl stated it was last night, which would have been on the 4th, November 4th. He and Stephen were down near the pond, which is directly north of where the vehicle would have been found, shooting and sighting in their rifle. He stated they were down there right before dark, and he did not notice the vehicle at all, but never really looked up there. Earl stated the rest of the week was pretty much seemed normal, and this morning, on the 5th, which would have been November 5th, Stephen and his mom left to go up north where they have cabins. So, I asked Earl if he knew what would have happened to Teresa. Earl states he had no idea what would have happened, nor does he know how Teresa's vehicle would have gotten there. Earl told me, even if my brother did something, I would tell. Earl did remember that on Monday, October 31st, Stephen had made the comment to Earl that he had to go home because somebody was meeting him there. He believed it was somebody from the Auto Trader magazine who was supposed to meet Stephen. See, this was said in the documentary that Stephen told his family members that he had to go and meet the lady from Auto Trader, which is not something that you would do if you're about to go and kill somebody. If you're about to go and kill this person, you're not going to tell your family that, hey, I got to go meet this person, and later on she's going to end up dead. Just, letting everybody know where I'm going to be, when, and that I'm going to be with the victim. That's the dumbest thing ever, and that's just not something that would happen. But here it is in Earl's statement, page 75, that Stephen told him that he was going to go meet somebody. Earl also states that he remembers last week that someone had called and asked for Stephen, and his brother Charles had talked to her. I asked him if he knew who that was. Earl stated he was not sure, but he thinks it was someone from Auto Trader magazine again. Interesting, right? So, yeah. So, that's it. So I've gone through the first 75 pages of the 1,116 pages of all these police reports. So I've got a long way to go, and I'm going to keep trying to, highlight the important parts, the information that we know that's actually important, and also especially the stuff that we don't know and that we have not heard yet. But I'm going to keep trying to, read through this stuff and find all the best things and just kind of give everybody the breakdown and highlights of what I've found so far. So, like I said, I'm going to probably read some more tomorrow because it's 2:44 in the morning now. And maybe tomorrow night or tomorrow sometime I'll have some more videos, or the next day, hopefully. Alright, thanks for watching.